Welcome to Mike Meat Incorporated. We are going to be doing a tier list of all of the Haunted Mound albums. Now, they finished up their tour. It's just fantastic to see, the progress that this music group has made. It's obviously the music group started by Cemetery and Ghost Mountain and has a rather black metal, rather witch house, old Chicago drill trap type of feel to their music. They have awesome flows, obviously taken from a lot of underground artists to inspiration from people like Cold Heart, Ruben Slick, stuff like that. And they've even worked with some of their idols too, such as Black Crate, and are affiliated now with Mascarilla Records and management. So shout out to Roger Genjo for putting them on the map and giving them the world tour that we all wanted. Now, what we're going to be doing here is basically just ranking these albums. But before I get into that, I just want to say that I love all these albums. These albums have a special place in my heart. And I'm not doing this just to say this one's better, this one's better, this is just kind of show love and talk about each album and what I think of it. And also in the comments, I want you guys to message me and let me know what you thought of the tier list so we can have an open kind of discussion about what we think of these amazing projects. Now let's get right into it. I think I'm going to have to start with probably the first thing that I've ever listened to by Cemetery, and that's Ghost Mountain and Cemetery's project, Grave House. I'm putting this at the S tier. Beautiful project right here. I just want to say that the synths on this are very uplifting. Orbs is an amazing song. Nevada is just a beautiful song, and it does still have that kind of black metal type of feel to it. More kind of emo crazy shit to it. We do get more kind of the kind of main kind of weird schizo emo kid type shit with this, and that's kind of why I like it. This is a song. This is these songs and albums are for the kids in high school that had no friends. You know what I mean? Not you know what I mean, but the outcasts. You know what I mean? That's why I like this shit. I was listening to this all throughout high school. I'm 19 now. This album got me through a lot of rough times. And Orbs, Goatman, the last song that was 6 minutes is good. Dead by Dawn really got me through some tough times. It's just such an emotional ride. That song is in the synths are just so beautiful on that. And Nevada really kind of gets me up and going in the morning. I almost listen to that every other day of the week, multiple times those days. And this album's really got me through some tough times, and I just think it's a beautiful piece of work. And let's go to the next one. We have Warboy. I'm going to put that at C tier. It is a bit short. It's a great album. I love the Red Bull Addict one and the AK-47 tracks. But the Singing from Cemetery is kind of, how do I say this? Premature. His flows kind of haven't really developed at this point. And I think that he just did better on other projects around the time it was done. And I don't really think this showcases him at his best of ability. I did think that, there were some cool moments on it, but the feature was okay on it, wasn't crazy good. But I like how the fans appreciate this, even though he kind of removed it, because even though he was at a bad place in time, it's good to see that fans still kind of support everything that he makes. And I'm glad that recently it's kind of had a bit more popularity, but ever since kind of Butcher House came out, everyone's kind of been focusing on that, rightfully so. It's a great project and stuff like that, and we'll get to that soon. But Warboy is a pretty good one, and I love to see the Mad Max references that he does consistently. Now let's get to an amazing project right here, Rainbow Bridge 1. And I would say that towards the end, the track list is a little bit lacking, but Slaughterhouse and Bunny Suit and Reverence are probably some of the best Cemetery songs. His interpolation of the hook of Hurt by Johnny Cash and the middle to end part of Reverence is just so good. It's really well done. I didn't think anyone could really pull that off. If someone told me about the song, but listening to it, I'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why would you interpolate Johnny Cash in a fucking black metal trap thing? But, it works. And also, Slaughterhouse is one of the best songs ever made, ever. I don't give a fuck about the I know that hot. It works in my opinion. Yes, it's just such a good album. But towards the end, the track list is kind of lacking. Creatine was okay. Cemetery was good. The song Cemetery, but I do think there's some songs lacking at the end, and a lot of drum patterns get pretty repetitive. But the first half is all fucking amazing. We're into 100 Acre Risk. I'm gonna put that at S tier. Simply because the synths and the kind of BPM make this shit, because a lot of the BPM is kind of slower, not really that fast. But Sigil is amazing. Just the singing from both of them on this. I think this is probably the best singing you'll hear from Cemetery, and the Goodbye Horses cover. Never would have thought he would have done that, but it is such a good cover. It's such a good song in the first place, and rest in peace, Q Lazarus, of course. But I would say that this album holds a special place in my heart. It's a very emotional project, and my friend kind of recommended me this, Drew Dumptious. He recommended me this, and I was like, is this really his best project? And I was like, yeah, it's up there. Now that I listened to it a couple times, I actually like it more than Grave House, to be honest. So I'm gonna rate that kind of there. But yeah, it is a great fucking project. It's just one of the more emotional ones, and the song structure is more not chaotic and all over the place. Dear God has a more kind of intense feel to it, but there still is that kind of pan-seared, deep-fried energy to it that you will find in later projects, but not too much there yet. You know what I mean? So it's a good balance of his older style and his new style, and I think it was, because this did come through a transitionary period in his career where he went towards the more Rainbow Bridge kind of 3 style moving forward and stuff like that. Screaming Forest, I'm going to put on B tier. I think that there's a lot of good songs on this. I think that it wasn't there's just much better Cemetery projects, but Willows and a lot of other songs on this, and I Hail the Night was awesome, and I did watch the video of him performing I Hail the Night, and that just kind of made me like 10 times more. But I Hail the Night is a very catchy Cemetery song, and I think that it showcases his ability to just make other people scream when he's performing in front of them, or just even when you're with your headphones. The good thing about Cemetery songs are that you do like to sing along with them, if you appreciate them enough. And I think that he's really able to kind of make you feel something when you're listening to it, feel really good and positive. C tier for Rainbow Bridge 2. I just think there was not a lot of memorable shit on this tape. It's a good tape, but it's not really memorable at all. It's a great tape though, but there's better Cemetery projects than that. But it was cool to see him work with Slug Christ, you know what I mean? But not really a big fan of this one. Rainbow Bridge 3, S tier. Let's leave it there. Masterpiece. It's one of the most innovative trap projects of all time. Straight, just kind of noisy ass black metal trap, fucking crazy shit. Countless amazing tracks on this. True Agents, Chainsaw Party, etc. This is what I would show Cemetery to people that haven't listened to him before, because this is the most innovative he's ever been, and I just think that it's truly a masterpiece, and I'm just glad that this exists, in the landscape of hip-hop, because I've just been such a hip-hop fan for a long time, and this really does break the boundaries of what rap can be, and that's why I love it so much. Now let's do the Buckshot thing. Fucking Buckshot, he's a really good artist. Let's put him at A. It's just the way he sings, his Irish kind of folk fairy tale type singing, the way he talks about London and or he had that one song where we were talking about London and the plague and shit. It was fucking it was some crazy shit. He's a very good storyteller with his music, and I just think that he has a great singing voice, and he has been around the Haunted Mountain pretty long amount of time, and I just think that you know, he has been and always been a good addition to the team. And I think that this project is a really good example of what Haunted Mound can be besides just Cemetery and Ghost Mountain. Butcher House, let's do the A tier. Very accurate of what this can be, you know what I mean? But there is more of a Chief Keef, Lex Luger kind of Waka Flocka inspiration with this. There still is a rock and rollin' type shit, you know what I mean? So I do like that he did kind of stick with that kind of rock star energy type of stuff, but different than the other things that people are doing. It's very, you know, catered to the style that he's always kind of done and never really switched up at all. I think that the kicks in the are kind of more doo-doo-doo, and there's much more kind of interesting drum patterns as compared to his earlier work that did kind of maintain a similar type of drum pattern. I did just love the Black Cray feature in this, and I did like it did seem that the Haunted Mound did get together for this one, and the reason was is probably, I don't know if this was orchestrated, but it was right before the tour that this dropped, around the time of the tour happened, and I think that this did complement the tour well, and I think it was a strategic move to have all these people together on it, and then this really did showcase that they are great together, that the Haunted Mound is a fantastic group of individuals putting out consistently great music. And you got to see a lot of highlights from each members, especially Haunted Mound Reapers with Cemetery and Hackle. Hackle killed it on it and really showcased that he's able to provide an intense energy with his records. I would say that Hackle's... Now, let's put that up a little bit. Hackle's debut project, you really get to understand that he knows his shit when it comes about guns and shit. You know what I mean? Bakelite's a banger. You know, Nothing's a banger. He's just really good at making catchy flows and stuff like that. And he's kind of able to bring a sort of kind of awesome demonic energy to the shit. And you really get to see that he's not playing around and that the Haunted Mound is something to not be fucked with, you know what I mean? And I just think that, you know, he knows his shit. You know, I'm going to put that above Screaming Forest because a lot of the hooks on this are just more memorable than stuff on Screaming Forest. I do love Screaming Forest, but, you know, Hackle is just really bringing something special to Haunted Mound. And he's been, I think he was like, which one? He was like the third or fourth member to join. I don't really know, but he was awesome on this record, and a lot of his collaborations with Cemetery are amazing, and I think that they're the next kind of really good duo. I would like to see more Cemetery and Turnabout, though, which is what we're going to talk about next, is Cutterle and by Turnabout. I think that Turnabout is just an amazing singer. I think that he is able to make very good, you know, hooks, and also just able to be one of the best artists in Haunted Mound melodically. I think that the music video for Bolos is amazing, and I think that Turnabout really kind of knows what he's doing when it comes to crafting good songs. And from what I hear, he has a great stage presence. So I would definitely recommend checking out any performances that they do, the Haunted Mound. And that's good to see because Turnabout kind of came out of nowhere. I always make the joke that they just found someone on the street wearing Truly and just picked him up and was like, yo, you're in fucking Haunted Mound now. But yeah, I think that he you know, in this cover he looks goofy as hell. But, you know, he's kind of matured his look. I don't really think that matters in terms of music, but it's just funny to see, like, how he looks like fucking, like a young bull. Like, he looks like fucking, like my friends when I was in high school and shit, you feel me? Like, I'm saying when I was in high school, like, it wasn't fucking last year. You know, less than a year ago. But you know what I mean? He's just, like, a weird as hell on the cover, but he makes up for it in these fire-ass songs. And, but shouts out to them, shouts out to the Haunted Mound, and let me know what you thought of this tier list down in the comments section below. I try my best to explain what I think of each album, but you know, I've listened to all of these obviously, but you know, I wasn't able to go in depth on them depending on the time that I listened to them. So let me know what you thought of the tier list down in the comments section below. And if you did see any of these in concert, let me know how it was and who's your favorite performer. Maybe we can bring you onto the channel and we'll do a tier list on performers in the Haunted Mound. We'll have to cut out Ghost Mountain because he hasn't performed, and maybe he will one day. Who knows? But thank you for watching this video on Mike Mean Incorporated. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And peace out.